So what I want you guys to remember about the knee is it's one of the more complex joints because basically everything from the foot up to the hip crosses that knee. And let's not forget too that we have fascia that goes all the way from the foot up to the head. There's several different lines that corkscrew through the knee, that lay on top of the knee, that dip down and go behind the knee. So we have to be very thorough in order to get the knee. So I'm gonna start with the general area of the inner thigh, and we're gonna use the Face Blaster or the Master Blaster because it has the tiny claws to prep the surface layer of fascia. So when we're prepping, you just want to make sure that you're going very fast and very light. Now I know in traditional massage we don't go all the way up to the pubis, but that's where the muscles go and that's where the fascia goes. So I want you guys getting really high and then all the way down to the knee. A lot of people are extremely sensitive in this area. It's a very highly fascious area and it loves to get bound right there, but it's absolutely okay to blast it. Again, you're not doing this to the point of pain. This is the prep, okay? So we're gonna take the inner thigh, which we've done the whole group, the short and the long adductors, and then we're just gonna move down into the lower leg. What we're doing is just taking this entire interline and giving it a nice, good fascia blaster prep. Then you can go back in with the tool of your choice with the larger claws. I like the Mini 2. And remember, you just want to be really oiled up for this because Fascia Blaster needs to glide across the tissue without grabbing it too much. Okay, and again, most of the time when somebody sees me blasting, they say, oh my gosh, you go so fast. But that is how fascia blasting works. We've got to kind of whisk through the fascia the same way you do when you're whisking through a tangle in your hair. Okay, and again, all these muscles cross the knee, so we gotta be thorough and get down into that lower leg. Making sure you always have good posture. You definitely don't wanna jack up your shoulder by doing this, so I always tell people to tighten their core, drop their shoulders, and make sure that you use the strength of your lat to stabilize the shoulder while doing this movement. Now you can go as hard as you want, as long as you can tolerate it. I tend to get a little deeper into the muscle, okay? So now we're gonna use the Master Blaster or the Face Blaster again with the small claws to prep the tissue. And I am going to be working all the way around my quadricep, which there's 4 big muscles that run up the front of the leg. And then I'm gonna go ahead and shoot in here to the IT band. Now, just to keep this video PG, got to keep our clothes on, but when you're doing this in real life, I want you to go all the way up to the hip, okay? And again, our prep is always just to get the blood really flowing so that it can then accept the larger claws when we begin to work into the muscle tissue. Now remembering, all these muscles come down and either insert at the knee or go under the patella. The quads is a huge part of knee. And then all of these guys are coming up. So we have to hit the lower leg down here. I'm just moving into the anterior tibialis as well as the peroneals. These 2 muscles can wreak havoc on a knee, so these are super important. And then don't be afraid to work directly on the knee. Again, light and brisk, prepping the tissue. We're gonna work all the way around the knee. Okay, just like drawing a little circle, little scrubby scrub all the way around the kneecap. Now, if you are going around the kneecap and something feels extra sensitive, so say this area felt extra sensitive, you would really want to give it a lot of prep. This is the muscle group where the original Fascia Blaster is really your best friend because these claws are so fantastic. So again, we're going all the way around from the vastus medialis oblique or the inside of the quad. And then we're going to be going up to the hip flexing quad muscles through the meat of the quadricep and around over here into our IT band. And then moving on, we're gonna hit that lateral lower leg or the outside of the lower leg. You can tell that I'm giving it a little more pressure now. And we're body scanning here. We're looking for places that feel less than optimal because those are the places we're gonna go back with the nugget. So I'm gonna teach you how to go all the way from your glute to your foot and then also getting into the back of the knee. So when you're gonna go and blast the back line of the body, you have to be able to reach the back line of your body. And I don't want you to lift your head, so you may have to stack up some towels or a pillow in order to do this. So we're gonna start, as usual, with prepping the tissue of the hamstring with the small claws of either the Master Blaster or the Face Blaster. You simply raise your leg up, and I really wanna stress the importance of locking the elbows on this because that's how you're gonna get leverage into the hamstring, okay? So I see a lot of people trying to do this, and that's actually kind of straining on the neck and the shoulders. So we want to make sure that when we're fascia blasting, that we are comfortable as you can be. All right, also I want to stress the importance that we're working the knee. So we want to go all the way to the hamstrings insertions, okay? And then go all the way to the hamstrings insertions at the glutes, okay? A great way to do that is just come across like this. You can cross fiber, you can go with the fibers. And when I'm working the hamstring, I like to shorten the fascia line by bending the knee. So we're working this whole hamstring. Just so you know, this is not a pretty process, okay? You just gotta get in there. Right, we're gonna move on to the back side of the knee. You can start with the knee straight, which will get right at the very surface layers. You can come around a little bit to each side. Super important, you guys, that's where the hamstring tendons are. You can bend the knee and do a little scooping. So I'm just doing like a U-shaped motion behind the knee. When you bend the knee, you're gonna be going just a hair deeper than when the leg's straight. And then we're gonna go into the calf, okay? If you don't have the flexibility here, you can do it here. Okay, once that tissue is prepped, we're gonna go back with the larger blaster. I like the original for this, best leverage, and it's the exact same process. All the way from the knee to the glute. And again, remembering your time. These are tutorials, so I'm here to teach you how to do it. You could spend easily an hour on one leg. And we're gonna move into the back side of the knee. This time, I'm actually kind of digging the claws a little bit into the back side of the knee. So you're doing a little bit of muscle work along with the fascia. It actually feels really good. And then we're gonna move into that calf. Now you can either lock your arms and move your leg, or you can lock your leg and move your arms. And honestly, whatever position you can get in to get a really good blast, I'm okay with this. This is all about your personal range of motion and your personal blasting style.